Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to show you how to escort ground vehicles, but enemy ground vehicles, and escort airborne targets too. So welcome to the mission editor again. Let's do the ground units first. What I'll do is I will place a set of American units. M113s is what I want to use, so I'll put those there. Let's put them on the main road. Let's put them on road. Let's give them a few waypoints. So we'll have waypoint 1 there, waypoint 2, and we'll stop just before the bridge at waypoint 3. And there we have it. Let's increase the number by simply clicking on the arrow. So I've now got 4 ground units. What I need to do now is introduce the helicopter that will escort them or follow them. And I like my mods. I've got a Bell 47, which I like, and I'm going to stick that in. I'm then going to change its altitude to around about 80 feet. And I'm also going to add a task, but what I'm going to do first is change its tasking to escort, and that will, in the perform task drop down, give me the option to ground escort. So let's click on that. That will be named the new vehicle group. So the group that I want this helicopter to follow is new vehicle group, which is there. I want it to follow it to its last waypoint at waypoint 3. The forward distance, in other words, the distance that the helicopter travels in front of the column, can't be adjusted, but it can be expanded. You can't decrease it, but you can increase it. So you can increase that distance like so, but what you can't do is decrease it any less than 1640 feet. So that's that done. Now what we need to do is, because we want that to be a set of enemy vehicles, is change them. So click on the first unit, which is that one there. Country, select. Let's select Russia. And now you'll notice that they've become red units. So they are actually enemy units. If we click on the Bell 47, we'll see that the ground escort task here is still in place and still working. But that's the only way we can get a blue helicopter to follow a set of red vehicles or escort them. Now before we go on to the aircraft scenario, one thing I forgot to mention. Obviously these are red units, that's a blue unit. If this blue unit gets close to these APCs, they will open fire on it. So if you don't want that to happen, which obviously you don't, because that's why you're giving it an escort task, is you click on the red unit and click Add, go to Set Option, go into the ROE drop down, and as you can see it's set to weapons free, so they would have engaged. What you need to do now is put them on weapons hold, which means they won't open fire on this helicopter. So that's that done, and just to double check, let's make sure ROE weapons hold. The same will apply to the airborne units when I show you how to do that, and I'll do that now. Okay, for setting up the aircraft, this is what I did. First of all, I put in one flying unit here. I made it an A-10A on the USA side, and I selected its ROE in the set options to weapons hold. Now basically that means that that aircraft will not fire once I convert it to a Russian aircraft. I then gave it 2 waypoints, 1 and 2. And that's the enemy aircraft set up to start with. We'll go back to it in a second. Then what I did is I put in a second blue aircraft. I made it an FA-18C Lot 20, and I gave it multiple advanced waypoint actions. So the first one was ROE weapons hold, because obviously when that becomes a Russian aircraft, I don't want that to engage that, nor vice versa. I also gave it a follow command. So let's have a look at that. I named it Follow Enemy. The group that it's going to follow is that one, which is the new airplane group. I set its distance to -50 feet, an interval of 100 feet, and I wanted it to follow it to the last waypoint, which was waypoint 2. That's the waypoint 2 of that aircraft. I also gave it a formation form. I named it Form. I said line abreast from the drop down. Obviously you've got various options. I then chose the variant of that, which was the closest one, which group close 39 meters. So I selected that. And that was the escorting aircraft setup. Now, this is the trick. What we need to do is convert that to a Russian aircraft, an enemy aircraft, for that one to escort. So we simply go to Country, drop down, change it to Russia, and it will become a red A-10C. Now, in keeping with the Russian theme, I want to change that, and I'm going to change it to an IL-76. And there we go. Still maintains its weapons hold, it's just in a Russian aircraft now in a different aircraft. If we go back to the US aircraft, the FA-18C, as you can see, everything has remained in place. And it's as simple as that. That's how that aircraft will now escort that aircraft to waypoint 2. When they get to waypoint 2, they will go their separate ways. So let me open up the mission and show you how both those elements worked. The escort aircraft and the escort ground units, both escorting the enemy.